I am V-Bird. Call me crazy, but I know we still have newspapers, right? But it would be nice if we can bring back newspapers, even though I know that we have newspapers. I think what I'm trying to basically say is back then, kids I think kids should start doing newspapers again, start passing it out and start giving it to people who walk by. Remember back in the day when kids were like, newspaper, newspaper, get your newspaper, read all about it, and then they actually tell you the information inside of the newspaper. Gosh, man. Kids back then were intelligent, man. Kids today don't know shit. They just don't. And it's like, imagine the world today if it was much smarter. Look, I'm all for video games. I'm a gamer myself, but man, we need kids to be smarter now. I feel like we are dumb as the human race. We have really become dumb. And social media, it makes us dumb. Every time you go on the internet and you go to like Facebook, Instagram, or sometimes Twitter, X, you get misinformation. You get these misinformation. It doesn't tell you exactly what's really going on, or they tell you something that's literally did not happen. Um, yeah, if I sound muffled, I'm using my other laptop because apparently I know I'm probably gonna go out of sync on this one too. I don't know. We'll see. But I think newspapers isn't a thing for kids. I think kids should start doing newspapers again. That's just my idea. I think that's basically what I'm trying to say. I know we still have newspapers, but we need to get kids to start passing it out again. We got to bring back the newspapers as in like, get people to read again, you know? Get people to read again because if it just back then kids that grew up they seemed important even though they weren't important, because of how intelligent they were. Now kids today are just what am I looking at? Uh, what is this? Like I can't even take anybody seriously anymore. I can't take you seriously. Like if I see someone come into my work, I can't take you seriously because of the young generation. They're just the way they look, the way they act, the music they listen to, the cars you drive. I can't take you seriously for some fucking reason. But I can take an old man seriously. I can take a old woman seriously. I mean, but back then I could take people seriously because of the way they were back then. It's like back then people seemed important, and it's probably because the newspaper, they waved that newspaper and just, they'll be like, let's say if today kids would be like, Iran uses missiles on Israel, read all about it. Iran uses missiles on Israel, read all about it. And it's like, holy crap, man. Like, it gets people's attention. Like, what? This kid is spewing what? Holy crap. Hey kid, what are you talking about? Oh, Israel was attacked by Iran. Yeah, they send missiles. See, right here, front page. Here, kid. Here, I'll give you some money. Give me the newspaper. Hey, thanks. Like that's the way kids were back then. Now it's like that's all I see is it's like how? How? Look how did this come to be? I mean, don't get me wrong. I like cell phones. It's cool. But there's no education with anything. There's no education. If there was education with cell phones, I would be totally for the cell phones. But there's no education that comes with cell phones. Everything comes just completely with idiocracy. I mean, I don't know. But hopefully newspapers come back so we can read all about it. Like and subscribe. I'm VBer. Thank you guys for watching. And I hope everyone has a wonderful week and weekend, whatever you guys decide to see this. But I am totally out. And remember, guys, you know who to vote for? This guy. VBer. This is a continuation to the newspaper. I think this is. I think what really bothers me is the way we dress back then. We dress so modest, and it bothers me that we don't have it today. We don't have it today. This is probably why everyone is gay. I'm sorry to say it like that, but this is probably why everyone is gay now. We're dressing our kids weird. Back then, look at 1800s and 1900s. Do you see the way the kids dress? They wore suits. They wore suits. Men, boys, they wore suits. That's what I'm saying. I think that's probably what it is. The kids back then, the boys, they wore suits. And now I I I can't figure it out, but like it's there's something about back then. It's like I'd rather have a kid back then because I know that this boy he's he's gonna because I know he is because of the way he's dressed and that you know what that's what gets people to get hired more so is because of the way they dress. I don't know. I just think people back then it's just it seemed better back then. And I'm Mr. AI guy, okay? My whole channel is nothing but promoting artificial super intelligence. But when I see people back then, I just see like the kids, they seem modest. And the little girls too, they seem modest. They're not dressed all fucking like how do parents let their kids walk the way they do? Like you show 'em more skin. No wonder kids are horny today. I'm sorry to say this, but dude, I'm being real here. That's what I'm doing. I'm being real here, dude. Or whoever's watching. It's just a thing back then seems so much better because there was modest, there was respect, there was loyalty. There was just something about back then that people loved. And if I had a kid back then, I would want a kid back then. No joke. No joke. In some way, this is how kids dressed back then. But they had suits, they looked normal. I respected kids back then. Kids could be respected back then. It's crazy. Kids could be respected back then. You can't respect kids today. It's impossible to respect kids today. I don't know. It's just we're getting dumber. We're becoming lazier. We're becoming more. Look, I'm not against people who are for the same gender. That's not what I mean by gay. I just think men today are they're just lame. That's what I mean by gay. Okay, let me just clarify that. I just think that little boys today and teenagers, they're just lame. There's nothing to them. And I just think back then kids seemed important than the kids today. It could be the dress code. I don't know. It's just you can't respect anybody today. That's just my honest answer. I just have to say that, and I'm being real right now. I know people probably might be offended, but I'm being real. And I think that's what people want. People want people to be real. And I'm being real. There's no decency anymore. I feel like everyone is just like now everyone's on YouTube and Kick. Let's be disrespectful. Let's just break laws. Let's just and that's a problem. That's a problem today. Then you have this idiot named Jack Doherty who just got in a car wreck on a highway in his what McLaren. I don't know, and he's like he doesn't care that he hurt his friend, and like I saw that video. So I'm saying it's like kids today. It's like, well, what are we doing? What are we doing with kids today? I don't know. I don't. But we need some form of change. Either bring back newspapers for kids or make them dress modest, boys and girls. Because we got to make kids smarter again. Make kids smarter again. So that should be like a new makeup. Make kids smarter again. Make America great again. Make kids smarter again. Make kids modest again. Make kids more respectful again. It's, you guys get the drift. Help me out here, guys. Anybody help me out. And to those people who subscribe to me, I think I have 17. I don't know. I haven't checked. But for those people who subscribe to me, thank you. Thank you. Whoever subscribes to me, thank you. I'll probably make a video about my subscribers, but thank you guys for subscribing. I hope I entertain you guys, and I hope you get some insight to what I think that the world should look because we're losing respect nowadays. Um, like and subscribe. I'm V Berg, and thank you guys for watching, and I'm out. Modest.